TBC News, our top stories. Mwanza awaits a vice president's visit. KDCU directed to support coffee farmers financially. Good evening, I am Faida Gaga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages at TBC Online. Mwanza Regional Commissioner Adam Malima says the Vice President of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, expects to arrive in Mwanza on the 11th of this month for a business visit where he will visit the Mabuki livestock farm. He made the statement when speaking to journalists, revealing that Dr. Mpango expects to have a 2-day visit in the region where he will visit the Mabuki livestock farm, talking to the judges and the Mwanza residents in general.
The Vice President of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Isidori Mpango, will arrive in Mwanza region around 11 in the morning. He will arrive at the village of Hungumalwa Ward, Kwimba district, coming from Shinyanga region. Our expectation is that the people of Kwimba, led by the people of Hungumalwa, will arrive and receive Vice President with a bang. We expect that he will get a chance to greet the people of Kwimba and the people of Mwanza in the Hungumalwa.
The Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Abdallah Ulega, says the Vice President is also expected to speak with the young people who are trained on livestock breeding at the Mabuki farm.
This program is very good, which I believe the Vice President will enjoy, and there will be something to learn from many Tanzanians, and there are many who are capable of doing something like that.
The Mwanza Regional Commissioner, Adam Malima, has urged Mwanza residents to turn up in numbers in all the areas that the Vice President will pass. Moving on, the Minister for Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Dorothy Gwajima, says the government continues to take steps to ensure that rights of the children are protected and nurtured. She made the remarks at SOS Children's Village in Dar es Salaam, urging all children in the country to stop associating with groups that are of no value to their lives. It's a report by Ngariai Olekimosa, read by Lulua Mohammed.
It's Easter Monday at the beaches of Dege Bweni in Dar es Salaam. The Minister for Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, is with the children of SOS Children's Village.
Dr. Samia, oye!
After being received by the children, she had time to join them in various games on this beach. Then Minister Gwajima had the message from the government to all children in the country.
If you will not be careful, the ball will be lost. Also, if you will not cooperate with your colleagues, the rope will be pulled and you will fail. Efforts, attention, passion and desire are what is needed and will make you what you want to be in this world.
Emphasis is on the issue of education, and developing children's talent was also touched upon.
If you play these games that you are taught, you can become a great player and carry the flag of this nation and announce it to other nations. It is better if you're playing and have an education so that when you go out there, you'll be able to interact with them and represent your country very well.
The heads of the Watoto SOS Center say it is now time to have a proper system for psychological service for children.
Kanyanja ya saikolojia pia ni sema ambayo serikali pia inatakiwa ifanye jitihada.
Psychology is an area where the government should make an effort to see how it can improve this sector for children and guardians. Also, care education should be given to all because studies show that children come to shelters because parents and guardians lack care education.
The beneficiary of the facility gives his testimony to the public.
Hata kama hauna akili sana, lakini ukifuata kila ambacho unaelekezwa.
Even if you are not very smart, but if you follow what your parents and guardians tell you, you will definitely succeed.
More than 80 children are being raised by this center, where most of them have maintained to be at various education levels, while some have found employment and others are self-employed.
The Karagwe and Kierwa District Cooperative Union, KDCU Limited, plans to support coffee farmers financially to ease their living before the harvest season. The Kierwa District Commissioner, Zaituni Msofe, says the move will control smuggling activities, especially for dishonest traders who buy the crop ahead of the time in the field, exploiting the farmers and diminishing the government's income. Is a report by Charles Mabea, read by Apasia Bringo.
The 36th KDCU General Meeting, farmers say that the challenge of selling and transporting coffee to neighboring countries has been ongoing due to some of them not earning anything before the harvest period.
We still see coffee being crossed at the border. As a result, the coffee board associations are collecting less coffee products. On the other hand, the citizens expect development from the taxes paid on coffee.
The Kierwa District Commissioner, Zaituni Msofe, directs KDCU to start implementing the new strategy to support its members with living expenses.
Sometimes people need money to solve their problems quickly, but the auction procedures take some time. So it is better to be given a sum of money for the agreement that will be passed.
In another step, the Karagwe Member of Parliament, who is also the Minister of Defense, Innocent Bashungwa, urges coffee farmers to establish savings and loan associations.
When we know each other as on AMCOS, we can lend each other according to the size of the farm. Therefore, we will reduce the number of farmers who go to the station.
Now from Kagera region, let's head over to Morogoro region, where we're told as technology advances, the Anglican Church of Morogoro Diocese says the decline in love between parents and children is largely diminishing due to globalization, including the excessive use of mobile phones. Is a report by Remi Asante, read by Flora Mwano.
The phone is a device that is widely used for communication, but sometimes the same phone is used for leisure for those seeking happiness due to the presence of all kinds of applications. The Bishop of the Anglican Church, Diocese of Morogoro, observes that despite the importance of the mobile phones for various economic and social issues, but the device has been reducing love and affection between parents and children.
Wazazi wengi wamezama katika mitandao na mambo haya ya simu, wanashindwa kutekeleza wajibu wao kikamilifu kwa watoto wao.
Many parents are busy with the internet, so they fail to fully fulfill their responsibilities to their children. Let's stop such things. Let's teach and show them love and care when they are at home.
Is there any importance for parents to reduce time they spend with mobile phones when they are at home?
Teknolojia hii ya simu isivuruge kazi yao ya malezi ya watoto.
The phone technology should not disturb their duty of care for children. Children miss their parents every time they're at home because some parents are busy with their phones. They leave the basic things to take care of and raise their children in good values.
Some of the parents admit the weakness, insisting that the government has to help to deal with dangers of immoralities. We really have many responsibilities as parents, but let's find time to spend with our children when we return home. Let's make sure that we find time to spend with our children. We should ask them about the things they experienced throughout the day. Your closeness with the child will help you know what challenges the child has in his or her life. We ask the government through the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology to control the television programs, not to put cartoons that do not have moral content, and also parents should try to know what things the children are watching.
In other news, the Christian Council of Tanzanian Churches in Arusha region has joined other Christians to celebrate the day of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, asking the community to preserve good morals and values. Speaking during the service, the leaders of the Council of the Churches say that it is their duty to remind the society to maintain good deeds and become exemplary for the present and future generations. Is a report by Sechelela Kongola, read by Apasia Ringo.
Christian believers of various denominations in Arusha region joining for a worship.
May God save Arusha as well as Tanzania.
It is the result of moral erosion and not following the instruction given to us by God. In Tanzania and our curricula, it is good to provide education to teach students and the children that money earned by working hard.
Sheikh Ghulam Hussein is the vice chairperson of the Peace and Love Committee for various denominations in Arusha region.
We Muslims and Christians and those who understand should make sure moral values are observed, and we support the President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, to achieve this.
Monduli District Commissioner Joshua Nassari, who is here to represent the Arusha Regional Commissioner, says the government is ready to cooperate with the community to preserve moral standards.
I want to tell you that if we maintain this unity, even when the world enters into incomprehensible chaos, Tanzania will stand. The Church of God has tasked to help ensure that we continue to instill the fear of God in our children from their childhood.
Now, let's have a look at other stories. Some Lubaga ward residents in Shinyanga region have started to benefit from the Tanzania National Roads Agency's plan to improve the road infrastructure at tarmac level connecting Mwanza region. Speaking to TBC News, some of the citizens say the move will help to improve the roads, which some have been impassable during the rainy season. It's a report by Grayson Kakuru, read by Apasia Ringo.
Efforts to improve the road infrastructure here in Shinyanga region has gained momentum, where the people of Lubaga ward, Shinyanga municipality, have started to see the success of starting the construction of the road connecting Mwanza region that passes through the area.
We thank the government for improving the infrastructure and for providing us with good environment for transporting goods.
What remains now is the timely completion of the construction.
The contractor should finish the road improvement on time because the students face many challenges when they go to school.
The contractor who is executing the project, Nyakahara Investment Company, is determined to complete the project on time and as planned.
We thank the government for continuing to show care and trust to the local contractors. We will definitely complete this project on time. We have removed the layer that was not so good. We have put the first layer, but now we are putting another layer that will be mixed with cement, and will strengthen the next layer.
Residents of Machombe village in Mtwara have praised the government for the completion of a clinic construction in their area. The construction started in 2018 and the residents used to walk 8 to 16 kilometers to get medical services in nearby areas. Is a report by Martina Ngulumbi, read by Lilua Mohammed.
100 million Tanzanian shillings have been used to complete the construction of this clinic for the Machombe village residents in Masasi town, Mtwara region. The Uhuru Torch is in Machombe village and laid a foundation stone. The move is being praised by the people.
We had a challenge from here to a distant clinic. As we go this project, we are sure that we will get better services at our clinic. It is true that pregnant women and mothers have been having a great challenge to go to Namatunu. Sometimes we're sent to Mubaka. It is very far, therefore we are forced to walk on foot from here in Machombe. We are grateful to have a clinic.
The location of Namatunu clinic is very far from here. So it has been a challenge for us considering that transportation is a problem. Therefore, we are grateful to have this clinic, and we pray that through the Freedom Torch, it will be opened early so that we can get health services.
The Masasi Town Chief Medical Officer Salum Gembe says the clinic has been completed and the crucial task ahead to start providing good services to the citizens.
This center is located approximately 15 to 16 kilometers from the main hospital. The nearest medical centers are about 7 kilometers away, and people used to walk on foot. We will benefit from this center, especially for the citizens of special groups such as pregnant women, the disabled, children, and the elderly will receive services more closely.
The Uhuru Torch race leader, Abdallah Shaibu Kaim, gives directives to the leadership of the Masasi Town Council.
People have shown good intention and they would like to see this clinic help them get better health care. The Freedom Torch places an order with wide interest because it brings enthusiasm and hope. I urge you that this project to be managed and completed on time. We have spoken to the director and has assured us that the project expects to end 30th May 2023 and the citizen will be able to get better health services.
The Uhuru Torch continues with its race in Mtwara region by passing through every council, inspecting, laying foundation stones, and officiating various development projects.
And that item from Mtwara region concludes local news. International news up next. Now let's have a look at international news with Lulua Mohammed.
At least 5 people have been killed in a mass shooting at a bank in Louisville in the United States of America. The Louisville Metro Police Department said other 6 people have been injured, including an officer, adding that the suspected shooter has also been found dead. The Deputy Police Chief, Paul Humphrey, told reporters that they don't know exactly the circumstances of the shooter's death and the police is still going on with investigations. A vessel with around 400 migrants and refugees on board is floating between Italy and Malta as it awaits rescue from Italian Coast Guard. People on board the vessel told Alarm Phone in a distress call that the boat had been floating for 2 days as it had taken on water and was without a captain. The boat has now reached the search and rescue area between Italy and Malta, and Italian Coast Guard have informed that they are sending a military ship to rescue the people on board. The vessel departed Tobruk in eastern Libya on Wednesday with around 400 people, including pregnant women and children on board. Thousands of Israel settlers have marched to the abandoned illegal settlement of Eviatar near the occupied West Bank city of Nablus to call on the Israel government to legalize the settlement and to denounce the increased attacks on settlements in recent weeks. The march that started from the Zaatar military checkpoint towards the evacuated Eviatar settlement in the town of Bita, south of Nablus in the north of the West Bank, were heavily protected by Israeli forces. At least 27 cabinet members, including Israel's Minister of Finance, Minister of National Security, and Minister of Religious Affairs, Michael, were among the cabinet ministers attended the march that has been called under the banner, which says all of the land of Eastern Jerusalem belongs to Israel and they will return to the settlements. But the Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it considers the march a dangerous escalation and provocation of the Palestinian people and an extension of the provocation calls of the Israeli right and the fascist right to deepen settlement at the expense of Palestinian lands, and it has dangerous repercussions on the situation in the arena of conflict. The ministry added that it is studying with legal experts the best ways to confront the settlement process, including filing a complaint with the UN Security Council, Human Rights Council and Permanent Commission of Inquiry, as well as the relevant international courts. And more than 300 demonstrators from Tunisian opposition parties have called for the release of some members of opposition political parties and prominent figures who have been detained in police stations for criticizing the political situation in Tunisia. More news from Tunisia says since early February, authorities in the North African country have arrested more than 20 political opponents and personalities, including politicians, former ministers, businessmen, trade unionists, and the owner of Tunisia's most popular radio station. President Said, who has seized almost total power since he froze parliament and sacked Tunisia's government in July 2021, claims those arrested were terrorists involved in a conspiracy against state security. Opponents accuse him of reinstating autocratic rule in the North African country, which seemed to be the sole democracy to have emerged from the Arab Spring uprising in the MENA region over a decade ago. British-based Amnesty International last month said authorities should release the detainees arrested on unfounded accusations. Local and international rights groups have criticized the arrests. The political situation in Tunisia comes alongside mounting debt and cost of living crisis.
That was international news as it was prepared by Ramadan Mpenda and read to you by Lilua Mohammed. Sports news is up next. Now let's dive deep into the sports news with Mario Cheto.
Tanzania upcoming boxer Renard Dindani says he is going to defeat his opponent Babu Ruda in their non-title fight to be held in Morogoro on April 22nd. Boxer Dindani adds that he is training hard, preparing to produce strong punches to his opponent and win the match, as he is supported by his coach Ridhiki Yassini.
I will beat him in and outside of the ring. I will defeat him as if I'm beating a thief dog. I'm not joking. I will beat him. I have seen him in training. I train him very well, preparing him to win his fight in and outside of the country.
Tanzania international Toa Kiduku will take on Lago Kirizia from Georgia in WBO title belt as the other boxers line up to entertain boxing fans during King of Kings night fight set to take place on April 22nd in Morogoro. Tanzanian artists have been urged to compose music that protect Tanzanian traditions and ethics as the concern of moral degradations increases around the world. Speaking during the closing ceremony of special music training held in Bagamoyo Institute of Arts and Culture Tasuba, the General Secretary of East Central Tanzania Conference, Sabbath Church, Pastor Shashi Halewana, have insisted to music graduates that they should focus on producing music which will protect Tanzanian traditions and the way of life. While Tasuba program coordinator Peter Elias asks more artists to join the institutions to polish their music.
You have been given enough skills and knowledge. Make sure that you use it to produce enough music to help society. They can be in groups or individuals because what we are giving them is a right for their music.
On their side, the graduates say that they are ready to protect Tanzanian culture through music.
Those who have graduated from the course will compose a song that will bring back Tanzanian ethics.
This is a place where we are getting knowledge that gives us strong skills of understanding music in a wide perspective, such as reading as well as teaching other artists.
63 Sabbath Adventist Church Choir graduate from Bagamoyo.
For watching.